every time I add something to my daily life, I end up messing everything up. So I started doing YouTube. I had a rhythm. It was going good. Well, it was going well. And now I am going outside once a day to overcome my agoraphobia, and I'm doing a short here in YouTube, and I also post it in threads because the thread community is the most supportive kind community I could find, and there's a lady there that worked with Charlie. I think that's her handle. I'm going to leave it here. She started going outside, and I saw a post talking about her and how inspiring she was, and I commented I should do the same to overcome my agoraphobia. She doesn't have agoraphobia. And I started getting comments like, yeah, go, you have this. So I said, well, I'm going to start tomorrow because it was already nighttime. And I started. And I started posting day 1, day 2, and so on. The thing is, between getting ready to go out, because it's not like I'm going to go out without any preparation, and doing the editing the short and doing the post and replying the comments, because I feel if people take the time to comment, I should do the same. Now it's manageable, the amount. But day 3, I went viral on threads, and I had 1.5 comments there and another 500 in day 2, and I wasn't able to keep up. I still think I need to reply to some of the comments there. But I'm telling this because I've been hyper focused on that, and I'm not doing other things that I need to do, like put the washing machine, the laundry. I'm not doing my part of the chores. Franco and I have an agreement that I do certain things, he does other things, and then we take turns to cook or to do the dishes, that kind of stuff. And I've been dropping the ball, and I feel like, how do I get the ball rolling again? How do I balance both things? And I know it's just time to get used to this new rhythm, time to not have clean clothes and remember I have to do the laundry, for example. But I don't know, I think it's a constant in my life that I try to be organized and not have a chaos in the whole place. And it's really hard. And both Franco and I are really disorganized people. So even though we clean a lot, there's like, we move something and I have piles of clothes because I'm sleeping downstairs in the couch to be near my dogs, because they can't go outside. They can go upstairs, and they wake up in the middle of the night, and if they need something, Siara is dying, so I'm sleeping on the couch. So I have piles of clothes downstairs because I have kind of my closet here. And it's a mess. It's something that I want to be better at, but at the same time I keep adding piles of clothes. I took most of my clothes upstairs again, and the one that were clean, and I put the dirty clothes in the bin, in the laundry bin. But I know but I know and I'm making Franco's life more complicated, and I'm kind of stuck. But it's also a great thing that Franco is also neurodivergent, because we get that stuck in a loop that you don't know how to process. We help each other to realize that we are doing that, and we support each other into I got you. There's been some weeks that I hadn't do anything, like I completely dropped the ball, and there have been other instances where I carried all the chores because he was overwhelmed or he was not finding his rhythm. And when my mom came last time she came, she told me something like, "Oh, your home is dirty," and I told her, like, "You told me that my house was really clean just yesterday. What do you see dirty?" And she told me, "There's things everywhere," and I told her, like, that's clutter. That's not that we don't clean, but it's also a very common things for neurodivergent people to have piles. A friend of mine, the one that is living in Germany, she also has piles. She's in the spectrum. Franco has piles, and every neurodivergent I know has piles of things that make complete sense in our brain and no one else. And I told her, like, you used to tell me that your house was not my home, and that when I have my home, I could do whatever I wanted. So this is my home. My piles are mine. Franco's piles are his. And don't complain about it. Because it's really like triggering when someone is about to rearrange the pile into, no, this should be here and that should be there, and no, it's my pile, don't freaking touch it. And that led to a whole conversation when the one that I told the previous episode, she apologized for being my first bully, my first abuser. But it's so frustrating sometimes, neurotypical people giving their opinions on how we have our home. I know I take pictures of my pets and videos, most of the videos, the B-rolls I have here. There is clutter everywhere, and I know that. And to some extent, I'm ashamed of that. But at the same time, I'm all about authenticity, and most neurodivergents have that clutter, and it's not like I'm not a hoarder. There's nothing wrong with that. It's also an illness, it's a mental illness, but it's not like I'm getting out of control, that I'm hoarding, that I need help for hoarding. It's that my brain works like that way. I do collect some things like the images from the from the magazines or things to do collage, I have rocks, sticks, barks, and because I'm about to do a lamp tree out of a old lamp, and I know I have those things, but it's kind of my gathering my materials to do my crafts, my DIY projects, my art, and that helps me regulate. So yeah, I know I dropped the ball. I'm trying to do better. And if you see in my photos on my videos the clutter, what do you think about that? Do you have piles? And how how long it takes you to kind of find the balance again? Because for me, actually, the best description for my life is a balancing act between what I can do, what I want to do, and what my brains let me do. It's like, yeah. And are you watching my shorts or do you come for thread? Did you know what agoraphobia was? Please tell me. I honestly thrive on connection, and I think we need more of that. I've been talking about that too in previous videos. I think we need to be kind and supportive and connect to each other, and I would love to hear what you have to say about it, about agoraphobia, about the clutter, about being neurotypical or neurodivergent, about connections. Please subscribe. Like I said, please comment, share, like, and I'm going to leave you with a short video of nature sound in my yard with bees and birds and quiet. See you next week. Bye.